Welcome. My name is John Bacuzzi. I'm a partner at ISG Research, and I'm here today with Chris Drumgoole, who is the general manager for infrastructure at DXC. Welcome, Chris. How are you?
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Hey, listen, big week. Last 7 days, you guys have been busy. Big announcement last week with AWS.
Yep.
Then you had the Formula One race with Ferrari, and Ferrari's a client. You do a lot of work with them, and you're also a sponsor.
Yes.
And now you're at reInvent, kind of launching this new partnership with AWS. So busy 7 days, tired?
Well, I've certainly got my steps in. We'll put it that way. But yeah, it's been a great week. It's been a great couple of weeks leading up to the event, and then actually just the energy and excitement here. So many of our customers are here either with us or with others, and the opportunity to see and chat with all of them and all of our other partners has been amazing. So yeah, it's been exciting, but it's exhausting.
Yeah, I bet you it's exhausting. And tell us a little bit about this new relationship. I mean, it's exciting. This is a big deal for DXC.
It is.
It's important for AWS as we're looking to get people to the cloud. So, why AWS? You had options. Why AWS?
Yeah, and it is big and it's important for us, and it's really the next step for us. Our AWS relationship goes back many years, and we have many joint customers. But really, I think the question is for us, why AWS? And for AWS, it's why DXC. And I think the answer there is really perfect, that we kind of chose each other, for lack of a better way to say it, in that from our perspective, again, we have a trusting relationship with AWS. We've seen them deliver for our customers. We're all about reliability and safety and security, and AWS has delivered that for us. So we have that kind of foundation of trust. And then from AWS's point of view, I think they look at us and say, we have that trust with our customers, and how can we help our customers bridge the gaps that AWS sees? So that's kind of why it was a really nice kind of, I hate the word synergy, but it was a very synergistic kind of partnership. Now, from our point of view, why is it so exciting? It's exactly what I just said. We now have another tool in the toolbox to help our customers on their journey, wherever it happens to be. Yeah. And we can get into the details. And the one other piece I would add that's really exciting for us is we focus a lot on the customer, but it also focuses a lot on our people. And those two things help each other, right? So as part of this new program with AWS, we have the ability to upskill and retrain and advance a lot of our people in their career path, which then helps our customers and our people. So it's great. Yeah,
that's amazing. And I love when you talk about that synergy with AWS, the connection point around the customer experience.
Exactly.
And the customer is critical. So let's dig into that a little bit. When you think about kind of reskilling some of your team, I mean, you're going to be doing a lot of work around bringing some people on board and reskilling your team with AWS skills, right?
Yeah, 100%. We have 133,000 people around the world who serve in 70 plus countries, who serve our customers every day. Wow. And if you look at the estates we run for our customers, they're across really every piece of technology there is. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, if you name a technology, it is probably running in one of our data centers or one of our customers' data centers somewhere. So the breadth and depth of skill that we need in order to be able to support those environments, which typically are really mission critical for our customers, I don't want to say it's all of our value at DXC, but it's such a big piece of it. So our ability to now say, hey, let's take this group of wonderful women and men who serve our customers and just even be able to give them more skills. So 15,000 is the number of new certifications we're targeting with this. That's on top of the thousands we already have in cloud. But what's really interesting for us about it is, you look at maybe some of the other, everybody I mean, no offense to anyone when I say this, but there's 60,000 people here, right? So clearly we have no problem attracting people to cloud. But try attracting people to mainframe these days. It's a bit of a harder conversation, but the world still, everybody's flight here probably touched a mainframe, right? Yeah. So what we've been doing is really trying to combine our upskilling and training programs. So for example, we've run a program where we've trained 1,000 new grads in what we would not, in a good way, call legacy mainframe skills, but the skills that have kind of been ignored for a lot of years. So now we have 1,000 new grads that have learned traditional legacy mainframe skills. And here's the real unlock with the AWS partnership is now we take that same group that we've really given a very rare skill set to, and now we come over the top and train them in AWS. And now you've got a real unicorn, for lack of a better way to put it, because you've got a young, talented, up-and-coming early career individual who's got really core skills in the systems that run the world. And now we'll have really core skills in cloud. And we think bringing that together for our customers is really unique and powerful. And I hate to say we're the only ones doing it because I don't know that for a fact, but I think we're the only ones doing that. And we think it's a real unlock for our customers.
Yeah, look, there's probably others trying to do it or working on it, but that's absolutely a unique area. And it's so critical because when you think about, moving to the cloud, I don't know if I necessarily want a firm that says, hey, great, guess what? Good news. We were born in the cloud. Well, what about all the stuff I have for the last 40 years has been working perfectly? So to have that connection point to say, no, we can take care of the things that have worked perfectly for 40 years and help you transition workloads to the cloud, that's a strong combination for sure.
1,000%. And I think if you're a brand new company, then you should go to the brand new environment in the cloud. But our customers run the world, right? Yeah. I always go to airlines, governments, credit cards, banking, financials, insurance. There's really no one in the Western world whose life isn't touched at some point during the day by a system DXC runs, even if you've never heard of our company. And those systems have been around, in some cases, 60 years. Our company traces its lineage back 100 years. We don't have 100-year data centers, but the company traces lineage back 100 years. So we don't have the luxury of those systems. So our customers need the ability to have us deliver our secure, quality, reliable operations, whether it's in mainframe, mid-range, traditional cloud server, private cloud, public cloud, serverless. And so our goal is to be able to make sure we can meet them wherever they are on that journey. And the reality is every one of them are on every step of that journey. No one's in any one spot. Everyone has a portfolio that kind of, transcends the entire environment.
Yeah, and that's interesting too, because when you think about AWS, their vision would be is, well, let's go 100% cloud. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like you're like almost a governance to help clients be super successful with making sure they get the right things to the cloud at the right time?
Yeah, in a very literal sense of the word, yes. But I'll tell you, this is where I have to give AWS credit. I think that their customer centricity matches ours, in that we had a lot of conversations up front. Our CEO, Mike, and Adam, me and Adam and several other key folks, Matt and others at Amazon, really had that conversation of, hey, we're not going to go force anyone to do something that's unnatural, because frankly, it's just against what we stand for, and we would lose our, bargain with our customers. That's what we represent, is we're going to do what's right for them. And Amazon they get that. So of course they have a point of view that says the more that moves to the cloud, the better, right? Who wouldn't? But they're also very aware that there's going to be situations where, for either financial, economic, national security, whatever, it can't move there, and we're not going to force it. I do think that Amazon is genuine in their conversation with us, where they say, okay, let's not look at that as a brick wall, but an opportunity on how they need to morph their product to fit those needs. But there's no short-term pressure. And I think that's, we tested this with quite a few customers before we did it, right? We didn't just sit in front of a PowerPoint and say, hey, this is a great idea. We went out and talked to our customers, actually Ferrari being one of them. And we went out and said, hey, we're thinking about doing this. We think it'd be helpful for you, but you tell us. And I can tell you the response was overwhelmingly positive. Wow. And that really shaped the deal, because that was one of the concerns. They said, but hey, are you gonna show up and say, hey, I'm not gonna support the old stuff, or I got to turn it? So we really made sure we over-indexed on that to make sure that everybody, it was never our intention in the first place, but we really made sure we over-indexed, both with ourselves and with Amazon, to make sure everybody knew how we were coming at it right.
That's great. And let's go back to that customer for a minute, Ferrari and the thousands of other customers, frankly, globally. How's this going to benefit them? I mean, what is that journey going to look like? How quickly will you be able to start helping clients be successful in this? And is it a cost savings? Is it a customer experience component? I mean, or is it a cluster of a bunch of good things?
It's kind of all of the above. So I'll answer it in a couple different parts. On speed, we've already started.
Wow.
So we've already started with a couple of those customers we spoke with. Once they said this is a good idea, we said, well, let's go do it then. And we've started talking. So nothing to announce yet, but we do look forward to having some of those conversations soon. John, it's not any one, this is a magical cost optimization or a magical agility play. What it is really a new set of tools in the toolbox, right? So Amazon uses the term builders a lot, but it's our ability to go to the customer and say, hey, whatever your unique challenge is that's either held you up from saving money, being more agile, moving faster, being more secure, whatever your personal challenge is, we've now got I always use a Lego analogy. We've got more Legos in the box now that we can build into the solution for you. So if you're a customer that, say, maybe has, frankly, maybe you have a sunk cost problem, and know the technology is not a problem, but the economics have been. You haven't been able to get out of your old software contracts, or maybe you bought too much hardware. Well, now we have a lever in the toolbox that we can help make that a little less painful. Maybe it's a technical problem. You haven't had the time or the skills. Well, now we have 15,000 new skills. And I think the reality is, for most of our customers, it's going to be some combination of all of them. So that's really the way we look at it. Is it's not a magic bullet by any stretch, but it's Legos or new tools or new levers, whatever you want to call it, that we now have in the toolbox that we can go to each individual customer and figure out the best way. But the end goal is everybody's end goal, right? We want quality, which I define as we want it, the right price, highly secure, highly reliable, very agile, right?
Yeah.
If we do those things, everybody's happy.
Chris, I love that because, you're looking at it from solving problems, not, hey, good news, clients, look at all the new tools we have that we can't wait to use with you. Yeah. You're actually going and just saying, hey, let's start talking and readdressing some of those questions you had 4 months ago, because guess what? Actually now, I think we have some unique ways of addressing it. Is that a good way to look at it? It's almost changing that conversation, right?
It is 100%. And I mean, we know each other a long time. My background is I actually was a CIO for many years, and I bought this stuff for a living. And I always laughed whenever a vendor came in and told me how great their new solution was going to be for their bottom line.
Yeah.
Right. And oh, look at my analyst report. Well, yeah, the analyst talks about how much more money you're going to make doing this. So we really, I think part of the reason I have, my boss has given me the job he has is because we try to bring that perspective of say, hey, let's solve this problem for you that you have, and then the rest will work itself out. So that's really the way we've tried to approach it with our customers.
No, that's great. And by the way, I love Legos as well, so this is good.
Big fan.
So what are the new offerings? What are some of the new offerings that you're thinking about here? I know you don't have the whole list, and I'm sure there's dozens, but what are maybe 1 or 2 highlights that you might be able to tease us with?
Yeah, and there's really no kind of prepackaged things coming out of it, but there's a couple pieces of the conversation that are helpful. And the first is this ability to go in to a customer, evaluate their estate, evaluate, say, their current software environment. Are you VMware, Nutanix, or Broadcom, whatever you may be? How does that look, and what does that look like going forward? And how could that be potentially made better or more efficient with the cloud move, right? Same thing on hardware. So it really kind of starts with that initial assessment. And then the other thing that we're really, as part of this, trying to push is we have an open source operations platform. We're not great at naming things. We're technical people, so we call it Platform X. If anyone has a better name,
wow.
we're open. Yes, I know it's an earth-shattering name, but it is an earth-shattering platform. So despite the name, it comes in stealth. But it's an open source kind of operations platform that we can then use to tie all these different pieces together. And we've made a lot of investments in that. And that's really the big one. And that's where you're going to see the most noise from us in the next couple months to years on it. But to be clear, whenever I say platform, everyone thinks, my mind's fresh from coming to the show. This isn't a technical platform. We're not trying to replace Amazon's console or Amazon's tools or any one of the thousands of vendors that sell tools. It's really, think about it as the operations platform that's the lifeblood of your business, right?
Yeah.
So what's the system that's looking at all of your events, alerts, tools, tying it together and giving you as a CIO the levers you need to either drive efficiency, drive cost, drive performance. But again, not from a technical point of view, from an operations point of view, because that's kind of our lifeblood.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And there's going to be announcements probably every week or every month with regards to new types of offerings that you can bring to the table for clients.
Certainly our hope, yeah.
So look, at 2023 didn't turn out as maybe most of us expected, right? We kicked it off with a banking crisis, some inflation, interest rates, global situations from a war perspective that has been a challenge. What most excites you about 2024 and kind of kicking off this new year, especially now with this new relationship?
Yeah, and I really can't talk about 24 without talking about 23. So you articulated it really well. 23 is a year I bet a lot wish they could forget, and all the things that we've seen happen in the world, both economically, socially. It's not good all around, right? But I think one of the things that we take pride in at DXC coming out of this year, I mentioned before how we really pride ourselves on what we call essential infrastructure. We run the things that run the world, even though it's a little cheesy to say. And our resilience through this environment, supporting our customers as they've gone through those things, however they affected them. And we have a lot of government customers as well. So you can imagine between banking and some of the other issues we're in there. While we certainly don't like that they happened, we're really proud of the work that our women and men delivered for our customers this year. We look back at it with a strong sense of pride, the type of service delivery, availability that we've been able to provide, really, if you go back as far as the Ukraine situation starting. So to your question about 2024, it's how do we build, what's exciting for us is how do we take pride and capitalize and show our customers how great that is without having to go through 23 again.
Yeah.
Right? Without all, let's do it without the noise. Let's do it without the world situation. But that's for us. And I think the other thing that's kind of as a DXC point of view, we talked to a lot of CIOs, talked to a lot of customers, both current customers now and friends from my previous role. And I think that we are kind of reaching an inflection point around the way people think about their estates. There's been kind of this endless modernization march for the last couple of years. We're going to modernize, we're going to move. Why? Well, because we are. And that was really the answer. And I think you're starting to see CIOs be a little bit more reflective, try to be a little more thoughtful about what goes where, how we operate it, what our model is going to be going forward. And that's kind of right in our sweet spot. We're really excited to be part of that.
Yeah, it sounds like, Chris, you're perfectly positioned for the things that are going to happen in 24. And this relationship is just going to be a great builder for your clients, for you and your team at DXC, and certainly for AWS. So congratulations again. This has been exciting.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're really excited about it.
Well, thanks for your time. Again, this is John Bacuzzi with ISG, partner, and very happy to be here with Chris Drumgoole, General Manager of Infrastructure. Thank you.